Greetings and salutations to you all. Once again, it is I, the Ravenous Spectre, and today I am going to do a little bit of a review for Far Cry 5. Sorry, I was just looking at my camera there, making sure it was telling me that the audio was coming through properly, because if it wasn't, I was going to have to stop this and check it again to see if it was, and 90% of the time it does, so yeah, don't know what the hell's up with it. But that aside, I want to do a little bit of review today of Far Cry 5. And I got quite a bit to say about this. I actually just beat it last night. There's 3 different endings. I went on YouTube to go check out the other 2. But yeah, the ending that I got was like, I was like, what the hell? Anyways, it was still really cool. This is an amazing game. It absolutely is. I really did love it. First Far Cry that I've ever completed. Might as well go ahead and say this is kind of like a little pickups as well. But this is the only game I'm going to be showcasing because I'm doing a review on it. But anyways, the fact of the matter is when this was first announced, I was very skeptical about it, obviously, because if you can see there on the front, it's kind of like a little bit of a look into like the Last Supper, dealing with Jesus, and the painting. I think it was done by Leonardo da Vinci, I think. I apologize if I can't really remember my history and my art history or anything like that. But yeah, it's kind of like a little bit of a take on that, if you will, looking at it. I mean, obviously you can tell that it's not showing the entire thing, but just enough that's on the cover itself. So yeah, when I ended up seeing that and I ended up hearing news on it and whatnot, I kind of sat back a bit and I thought to myself, you know what? I'm not really sure if I really want to play this. I'm not really sure if I want to get involved in it because of the fact that I thought maybe it might have been making fun of Christianity, and also it was probably going to have a really heavy political tone behind it and all that other stuff. And to be quite honest, after playing through this, that everything that people thought that it was going to be with the way that the marketing was pretending it to be and what it was looking like, it's not like that. There is some religious themes that's in there as well as political, but they're very light. They're very light for the fact of it basically being a backdrop for the world itself that you're in. They aren't heavy or anything like that, thank God. I actually ended up hearing from a friend of mine and actually had checked myself that apparently Polygon and GameStop got their panties in a bunch. GameSpot? Sorry, they need to change their name. GameSpot and Polygon got their panties in a bunch and acting like a bunch of whiny bitches because of the fact that they're like, oh, there isn't enough politics in the game. Why is there not enough politics in the game? Listen, you thunder twats. The fact of the matter is you're apparently playing video games for the wrong fucking reason if you wanted there to be politics in it. Go look at the news. Go read a newspaper. Go look at millions of other news websites out there if you want to get your share of politics. This is video games. It's about entertainment. It's not about making any kind of political statement. So I'm glad that they didn't go through that. Polygon, GameSpot, go suck a dick. Whatever. Whatever, man. You guys are morons. Jesus Christ. You shouldn't even be playing video games, and if you want why? Why do you want politics in your games? Why? Just why? You're fucking morons. Anyways, but I laughed my ass off when I found out about it. A bunch of whiny bitch thunder cunts that they are. I just laughed when I ended up seeing that. And that's one reason why I've never really liked both of those websites anyways. I stopped paying any attention to them a long time ago, and with fair reason. But the fact of the matter is that it's a really awesome game. I give it a 10 out of 10. Fuck you, GameSpot and Polygon. I give it a 10 out of 10. First Far Cry that I've ever really gotten into. I had played some of 3. I actually got it digitally on PSN like some long time ago or whatever. But I played very little of it, and I couldn't really get into it because I was dealing with other games. And then there was another, what was it? Far Cry 4 and also Primal that I have as well. I got farther into Primal than I thought that I would. 4 was really cool. I didn't get as far into it as I thought that I would have, but going through this and finishing this actually entices me to go back and play those games once again. But anyways, the thing is that from beginning to end, it pretty much ended up holding the same kind of gameplay that you would expect from the Far Cry series that everybody has really loved and hailed as being really, really good, from iteration to iteration. But the thing is that they have actually added a few other little extra things in there, which, is kind of the norm when it comes to a certain gameplay formula that really flows through well with a certain audience, that the company itself is going to stick with that, but they're going to add in something new to either bring in new players or to just bring something new to the table, if you will, for existing players of the series. And that was one of the things that kind of kept me away from it for a bit. I was like, well, if it's just kind of the same old Far Cry, I'm not really going to care about it because of the fact that I couldn't get into 3, 4, and Primal like I thought that I would. But I ended up renting it from Redbox. God bless Redbox. It was just kind of, it intrigued me in my mind. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and rent it. I'm going to try it out. I'm going to see what it's all about and all of that. And surely enough, I rented it for 3 days because apparently Redbox has this thing now where you can rent something for $7 for 3 days instead of $3 for 1 day. You know, and it makes sense to rent it for 3 days because it's a game. It's not like it's a movie you're going to watch in an hour and a half or 2.5 hours, whatever, and then just take it back the next day or that same day. You know, so when it comes to games, obviously you're going to want to spend enough time with it to see if you can really get into it. And so when I got into it and I started playing, I'm like, this is pretty cool. You know, I like the setting. I like the way it's set up. I'm really getting into the gameplay once again. The music was really good. And there's a lot of licensed music in here, too. I actually did a couple streams of the game, as a matter of fact, while I was playing, if you guys want to go check those out. And I was like, yeah, I really like this, the music that they have in here and the setting and the characters and the stories behind the characters. There was a few stories in there that really got to me that just... it really kind of elevated me to a point like, yeah, I really want to take this people down. I want to take this cult down. Basically, it takes place in a fictional Montana, in Hope County, fictional Hope County, and there's a cult that's taken over, and you need to take them down because they pretty much have just spread like wildfire. And the thing is that while there is some biblical passages that are given by the main antagonist in the game, basically what I had seen it as was the fact that all throughout history, there's always been people that have taken God's name and they've always utilized that for nefarious means. They've always had their little schemes and things they've utilized to be able to get what they want and try to instill fear in people all throughout history. So that's what I was thinking about when it was boiling down to this. It basically kind of, and I'm not going to give any spoilers or anything here. I'm just giving my overall thoughts on the fact where everybody was kind of getting up in arms about the fact of it being like against religion or Christianity or politics and guns and things of that nature. But the thing is that when I got a little bit deeper into it, and I said this thing is actually really a cult. That's really what it is. It's just taking something religious and they're utilizing that for their own means is what it is. It didn't seem like it was coming off in any way, shape, or form of it making fun of Christianity or anything like that. It just had that it had that cult feeling was what it was. It was basically one of the things was that, and this is kind of just a minor spoiler. It isn't anything that's really big or anything like that, but one of the things that kind of really got to me that I had seen was when I looked a bit deeper into it, there was like the main antagonist himself has his own Bible, if you will. When you look at it, his own book, if you will, his own Bible. And the thing is that if they're following by that and they're doing that, that to me it's not trying to damn on Christianity or put Christianity down or anything like that, but realizing that he had his own book, basically his own word of God, if you will, or his word, as I should say. He's basically trying to make himself seem like he's a savior of the people. But yeah, if you play the game and you see what happens from beginning to end with everything that's going on, you'll realize that, yeah, these people are just a bunch of nutcases that just need to go. They just need to go because of the way that they act and the way that they are. And, yeah, so obviously it has that little text down there on the bottom, stupid little DLC crap. But the only thing that it is just customization little thingies. So they put a little code in there for it. Yeah, for just some stupid clothing. And skins for like a van or something like that, and a skin for a gun or just whatever. It's penny little DLC bullshit like I mentioned time and time before. But anyways, the fact of the matter is one of the only things, actually, well, there's a couple things in the game that kind of irked me. One in particular, but they're still in with like a gameplay segment, which I'm not going to talk about because I don't want to spoil anything. But one in particular is the fact that knowing this is an Ubisoft game, I had heard rumors about there being microtransactions in them. I wasn't necessarily sure until I got into it and checked it out, and surely enough there was. And I'm like, the hell with this stuff. Basically all of it, excuse me, basically all that it is silver bars that you can either use those silver bars in the game to buy weapons and ammo and clothing options and things like that, instead of using the money that you earn in-game to put towards the exact same thing. but with the silver bars, which you can also find in the game in chess and things like that, you're basically putting real world money towards something that you can already find in the game and utilize if you just take the time to be able to do it. That's the point of playing a game. That's the point of earning the stuff. That's the whole deal with it. And I looked at it, and they had I think it was 4 or 5 different tiers. The highest tier that they had was $50. $50 freaking dollars, almost the price of what it was for me to buy just the damn game itself, for silver bars to be able to utilize in the game just to get cosmetic items and weapons and ammo and all that other stuff. I didn't do any of that. Everything that I had gotten when it comes to ammo or clothing options or anything, I either unlocked in the game, doing missions and things like that, or money that I earned in the game, and silver bars that I earned in the game. That's the point of playing the game. It's the point of earning your way through it. It's the point of having that sense of satisfaction, not pulling out your wallet and giving more money to these people after you've already given them $60 freaking dollars. So, yeah, I know it's Ubisoft, and I know they've done crap like that in the past, but obviously those rumors that I heard had came true, so fuck microtransactions once again. But didn't use it, didn't utilize it, never will, never have. But I thought maybe that Ubisoft was going to go back a bit and be like, well, we're not going to bother with microtransactions in this. We're just going to go ahead and put our world out there for everybody to play in and create chaos and so on and so forth. But obviously that wasn't the case. They had to go and just slip that little microtransaction thingy in there. But I truly hope that if people just, if they're smart about it, excuse me, talking too fast, don't have anything to drink, throat's drying up, whatever. But if they think about it and realize everything that they can get from just shelling out more money, they could just earn it in the game, then stuff like this wouldn't happen. I actually had a discussion with a friend of mine that mentioned, he said, I bet you anything they may end up trying to come up with something like an update or patch or something where they try to see if they can have you buy these silver bars with real cash to be able to get access to it or utilize it or whatever it may be, which we don't know. We never know what's going to happen. I still think that's a real stupid, dumb idea for them to do, and this was a dumb idea for them to do in the first place. But the fact of the matter is, I had a blast with this game. Besides the microtransactions and one little gameplay segment, which was actually a few of them that kind of irked me a little bit. I got through them just fine. Everything was great about it. The music in it was good. The world in it was good. The characters, the backstories, their stories, and some of those, like I mentioned before, some of those characters and supporting character stories really got to me to make me think, yeah, I got to really take down this cult. Everything that they've done, I really need to do this because something has to be done about this because these people are freaking crazy. And the thing is you can get, I think it's 9 companions, but from what I've seen, you can only have 2 with you at one time, which is strange because it shows the directional pad on there on screen, and it has 2 other ones that are there that are X'd out. So it makes me wonder if you can actually have 4 with you all at one time, but maybe there's a little perk or skill that you have to unlock first before that can occur. I'm not really sure. I'm going to look a little bit deeper into that because even though I've done a lot in the game, there's still a few things that I have not completed yet, that I have not finished, that I am going to do, that I'm going to look a little bit more deeper into. And you never know. I may end up 100%ing it. I'm not really sure. But there is some hunting and fishing aspects that also go hand in hand with some of the missions, like the side missions and even some of the story missions, if you will. And I'm like, I didn't really bother with it. Because one of the things that you're doing throughout the game is you're basically pissing off the person of a specific region to get them to come out to face you and battle you and all this stuff. And there's a main antagonist and his 3 siblings, 2 brothers and a sister. But I'm not really sure if they're actual siblings or if they're just saying that they're family in a cult kind of sense, if you will. I'm not necessarily sure. But I guess maybe I didn't really pay too much attention to that part. But the thing is as you go and do these different missions within a specific region, you'll end up coming to a point where you'll piss off the person who has control over that region, and then you'll go into a final battle kind of thing with that specific antagonist of that region, So, and then after you do that, you can always go back to that region and complete things you hadn't finished, like I mentioned previously. So it's definitely something to look out for sure, if you guys are looking for a real interesting first-person shooter to get into. Definitely one of my games of the year, without a shadow of a doubt. It is, because when I first got it and I rented it, I played it for 2 days, and I'm like, okay, now I want to buy it. So I got it from Best Buy, and finally got that. Best Buy had something going on where PayPal really wasn't working for them at that point in time. So I went ahead and just paid for it otherwise, because I was wondering if I was even going to be able to get it at that point in time, knowing they were having those problems. But got it all squared away, got it, played it, loved it. It's the main thing that I've been playing since I got it. I have been playing a little bit of Alliance Alive here and there, but I just got addicted to Far Cry 5 and just stuck with it all the way through and have been loving it. One of the other interesting things about this is they have this thing called prepper stashes, which is like doomsday prepper people. These different bunkers and things that you can find to go and get these magazines, which are perk points that you utilize to put into different skill trees in the game to give you different skills and upgrades and things like that. So some of them are really unique. Some of them are just like, or kind of just original, like go to this bunker or figure out this environmental puzzle to get into this bunker. Or there's one in particular, one interesting bunker that was kind of like a haunted house inside of a barn, which was pretty cool. And there was like another one that was like a bunker that was flooded, so you have to end up getting some pipes turned on where it can end up draining the water out of there. One other one in particular was actually rigged up with explosives, but I didn't really know what was going to happen. By the time you got in there and got the stuff, explosions are happening, flames are shooting out, you get ready to go through a door, and a steel grate falls down in front of you, but then it like immediately goes up, and then you're able to get out of there. So it was just crazy. And one of the crazy things that happened with me in this game was I actually swam up a freaking waterfall. I'm like, man, it's Ubisoft. What do you expect? There's definitely going to be some glitches and bugs in the game. And that's actually what happened to me. I'm like, man, this almost feels like I'm Link in Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. You know, you can end up getting this outfit to be able to swim up waterfalls. And I just thought it was funny when I did that. But it helped me. I didn't have to worry about using my grappling hook or climbing or anything like that. I just swam straight up the waterfall. But anyways, yeah. Damn, I've been talking for a long time. Almost 17 minutes. No wonder my throat feels like it does. But anyways, I just want to go ahead and give my review for Far Cry 5. The disc isn't in there. It's still in my system. If you guys have had any thoughts about it, those are my thoughts. You can go ahead and decide for yourself. Rent it from Redbox, see what you think, or just go out and buy it if what I've said has actually piqued your interest. So anyways, I will go ahead and I will end this like I always do. Later, taters. Go play Far Cry 5. It's great.